Hello YouTube, it's Warfighter Mto, and per my ongoing series, I received a request to go over Crye Precision clothing and helmets. I don't own a Crye Precision helmet, so I really can't do that, nor have I ever worn one. But I do have some Crye Precision clothing that I could go over. As everybody knows, Crye Precision, they're considered a top brand. They definitely have some top pricing on just about everything they make. They have also huge contracts with SOCOM to provide clothing, armor systems. I'm pretty sure that's about it. They were also the developers of multicam. So Crye is the originator of the pattern multicam. That's why if you ever buy anything that says authentic Crye multicam, that means it's licensed from Crye to be produced. So they were the original developers of multicam. So to the nuts and bolts of the clothing, I got 3 items here. 2's Crye and 1 is Army OCP, or I guess just original big Army issued stuff. I'm gonna go over some of the Crye stuff, like I always do, what I like, what I don't like about it, and how it's made. First off, we'll start off with the combat shirt. This is a Crye combat shirt. By far, this is probably my most favorite piece of clothing they make. This is the Crye combat shirt AC. That's their hot weather lightweight combat shirt. I always issued this one for a deployment. I wore it, and it's pretty much the shit in the world of combat shirts. Matter of fact, comparing this to the regular big Army issued combat shirt, it's night and day. I can't stand the big Army combat shirt whenever I was issued it. I never wore them. I just kept them in the bottom of my duffel bag with the tags on them, and when I got back home, I'd always unload them somewhere, either on eBay or trade them or whatever. But they always didn't fit right. The material of the shirt portion was always non-breathing, very hot, retained water. I mean, it was not a combat shirt. You know, it's called an Army combat shirt, but it was not a combat shirt. It was honestly, I thought it was worse wearing those things than just a regular blouse. And the neck collar on those things sucked. It didn't have a traditional collar. It had like this turtleneck thing, and it didn't have a zipper to where you could open it up to breathe. It was there, and either you had to cut it off or live with it. So this is the Crye Precision combat shirt. Crye was the original, I believe, the original company that came up with the concept of a combat shirt. And it was, I mean, it took off overnight. Soldiers loved them because blouses, you know, they suck wearing them in desert and jungle environments, especially when you don't have to, when you just need something lightweight that still has sleeves with pockets. So pretty much what any combat shirt is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lighter weight, breathable, moisture wicking material on the underneath portion where your body armor and your equipment's worn. And the sleeves, there's a traditional, you know, 50-50, you know, ripstop, whatever they make. And it has the traditional pockets, and so you have your load bearing and capabilities and all that. So, but Crye really hit it out of the park with this one. I worn this one on deployment. It really has nothing wrong with it besides some minor armpit stains on it, but I really like it. The stitching is top quality. You almost never see pop stitching. The material itself, they don't use cheap treated cotton, nylon, like the Army does on their fire resistant uniforms that fade and is cheap. This holds its color pretty good. It can get washed a bunch of times. All the seams are properly sewed and taped. And I also like the pockets better than the Army combat shirt, the big Army combat shirt, because those ones have zipper accessible pockets, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. You really couldn't fit what you needed to them, especially when you're used to having this kind of pocket setup on your blouse anyways. So I do like that about this. And like I said, one of the biggest features I love about the Army combat shirt is the under material of where your armor and your equipment is worn. It works, it dries off in a minute, it breathes, it's not heavy, it doesn't suck to you, it works. The other biggest feature I like about this over the Army combat shirt, the massive combat shirt, is the zipper collar. I have the ability to wear my collar however I need, collar up, collar down, zipped, unzipped, whatever. I can do that. Also a feature of the Crye, actually their whole AC line, is that they have the built-in elbow pads, and for the pants, the knee pad insert, so I could buy the Airflex elbow pads and I can insert these in here. I generally don't do that. I don't really wear elbow pads at all. I just think they're useless for what I do. So I never wear elbow pads, but for those of you who do wear elbow pads or are always proned out or whatever on like concrete, then you know, you have that availability to put your elbow, the Airflex elbow pads in there. Overall, I love the Crye Precision combat shirt AC. I've never worn or owned the G3 combat shirt. I imagine it's just a heavier version of this. This is AC, just means that it's their hot weather line. So awesome piece of kit. I was issued this. I wore it. We were issued one set of AC top and one set of AC pants. So going on to the AC pants, they're not here with me today. There's a reason why. They've worn out. The AC pants, like I said, just like the top, it's a hot weather fighting garment. It's supposed to be lightweight. It has some built-in features that make it a little different than the regular Army clothing. Mainly, it has the built-in knee pads, just like the elbow pads. It's where you can put the Airflex knee pads. I generally don't run those either. You know, it's about a 50-50 when it comes down to user preference. A lot of guys wear them, a lot of guys don't. I generally don't. If I'm gonna wear knee pads, for the very few times that I did, I would just have a pair of dedicated knee pads. They also had a built-in gusseted crotch with a thin breathable material, and the knees were gusseted with a breathable stretchable material as well. And that's where they failed. The stretchiness and the gusset of the crotch and the knees would stretch out, and they would rip pretty easily too. And that's why mine aren't here, because mine got destroyed, and I threw them out. And they got destroyed after I've been, I think, about 2 or 3 months of wearing them pretty regularly. They just didn't last very long, and that was my big complaint about the pants. Now on the flip side of it, they were the most comfortable pants I'd ever worn in my life. They fit me like a top. They felt great. They were cool. They were awesome pants. They just didn't last very long to the abuse. So, you know, I know the pants are almost like $200 if you're buying them on the open market. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're buying your pants. I would never buy. I was issued those pair that I had worn out and ended up destroying, but I would never personally buy the AC pants. I just feel that they just fall apart too easily. They're not built tough enough. You know, that lighter weight material that they get in there for the hot weather, I don't think it lasts as long. But the combat shirt, on the other hand, it is rocked on, and it will continue. And I think they're like 120 bucks for the AC combat shirts. If I didn't own one and I needed a combat shirt, I would probably spend the $100, $120 and pick one of these up if I just really wanted a combat shirt. If you're looking for a hot weather combat shirt, you cannot go wrong with this. I think this is a very viable option. There's a couple other guys that make some. Beyond makes one, of course. Massive, they make the big Army's combat shirt, which, as I described, is an utter disaster. But the Crye combat shirt's a very good option if you're looking for a hot weather combat shirt. So I wouldn't trust their AC pants. Now here I have 2 different pairs of pants. One's Crye, one not. These are regular Army OCP duty pants, whatever you want to call them. And then these are a uniform pant that Crye makes for the Army. It's called Crye Army Custom Pants. These are issued to Army. I'm pretty sure these are just generally issued as use of sock units over this uniform. I'm not sure why, but I'll get into which one I like better. Okay, starting off with what I like and don't like about the regular issued Army OCP fire resistant multicam pant. One, the material. The material is awful. I don't know what the deal is with the so-called fire resistant material that they started producing with the ACUs, but it's not fire resistant at all. We've set them on fire, and they they burn very similarly, if not faster, to regular ACU cut uniform. They have no fire resistant properties at all. I don't know if that was designed to burn faster off you, so that way you wouldn't have be sustaining long-term exposure to the open flames of the uniform burning. But we lit some of these up, and they went up with no accelerant, mind you. We just set them on fire just to burn them because they were trashed. And in Afghanistan, unlike most idiots that are in theater, if you fucking just throw your uniform in a dumpster or the garbage, Hodge will fucking come by and pick them shits up, and they will fucking give them to Taliban forces to try to do some sort of subversive fucking attack on U.S. forces. So if you ever have to get rid of your clothing in theater, you need to burn it. And that's pretty, you know, the signs are posted everywhere. Do not throw clothing or equipment out because they will take it and use it. But I was burning these, and these just went up like that. So I kept one pair. There's no extra as far as the weak point of these pants. I'm sure anybody that's ever had to wear Army clothing, they always know the crotch is like the first thing to blow out on these things. They're standard cut, just like your ACU pants you would wear, with one exception, is that I guess the Army fucking listened for once, and they quit putting Velcro on the side pockets. These are button pockets, which having Velcro on these pockets is dumb, because the Velcro will wear out. If you wear these things, especially if you're washing them repeatedly, the Velcro will wear out and the Velcro will not work. Velcro does not last forever, especially in clothing, because it gets worn out from washing and from wearing and fouling. So I was so happy when the Army went back to an all-button pocket. That was like the best thing they could have done for these pants. But other than that, a standard Army pant, you know, the shitty fucking belt loops that always tear. If you just put a little bit of pressure on them, they'll rip. They really can't support any weight on the belt. You know, this one's already fraying, and I probably only wore these like once or twice. So this is the Army issued pant. You know, it is what it is. I don't like it, so I wouldn't wear it unless I absolutely had to. Now this is the Crye's product. This is their pant that they make. This is a duty uniform that they make for the Army, mainly use of SOC units. It's different. It doesn't have that fire-resistant material, the same fire-resistant material that the Army issued pants were. It's a much I think nicer material. It's smoother, softer. I think it breathes better, and it doesn't fade as much either. Granted, these have never been washed. These have probably been washed a couple times. These are like brand new out of the wrapper. So take that for what it is. But I have washed, you know, these pair of pants, you know, like this before, and they don't fade as much as the OCP Army issued uniform. Also, the material, because this material is a little bit more wear resistant, I believe, than the fire resistant. The crotches do not wear out as much, but it's sewn in the same pattern as a regular issued uniform, which is going to bring me to the pockets. Your side pockets are just like ACU pockets. What I mean is they don't have the buttons, they have the Velcro, and I cannot stand that. Yeah, I cannot stand it. It will wear out, it will fade, and your pockets will not work over time. I hate that. I like having the button pockets like in the old school BDUs. These don't have that. So, and like the AC, and unlike the AC combat pants and I guess the G3 combat pants, they don't have the elastic band on the inside to retain shit. This is just a straight up regular Army cut uniform. So this was like approved light duty wear. I could probably wear this and the shirt to work and no one would bitch. But now what I do like, besides the type of material they use to make these pants, is the belt loops. They have extra thick, extra wide belt loops. Not only that, it's lock stitched. The belt loop is lock stitched on the bottom and the top, and there's a little ring right here that I guess was meant for piece 550 cord or a little miniature D-ring, to where you can attach other forms of equipment, whether it be gloves, chem-light bundles, whatever. So, but these belt loops, substantial improvement over the OCP uniform belt loop. And also what I don't like about these is that, like, unlike the original Army ACU uniform, the butt pockets are Velcro closed also. And I hate that because, first of all, it doesn't have a flap, and number two, it doesn't have buttons, because I feel that this will not retain anything. I would be scared to carry my wallet into combat with these pants, because I would personally feel that my wallet would fall out. With this uniform, you know, I've worn this uniform training, overseas, jumped them. I've done everything with this uniform, and with the flap buttoned properly on this, I've never lost my wallet, ever. So, you know, take that for what it is, but I would not trust running these in a combat environment or a heavy use environment with my wallet in there. I feel that my wallet would either A, get destroyed, or B, get lost. So these are my Crye pants, or actually these are my wife's Crye pants for Army Field Custom pants. Unlike the AC pants also, it should be noted that the Army Field Custom pants do not have the Crye knee insert for the Airflex. They got the traditional Army, you know, knee insert for the soft styrofoam mesh foam knee insert that the Army has, that you can put in your pants if you like. So other than that, it's traditionally cut like the Army uniform, except for it has an extra pocket here. I don't believe the OCPs, yeah, the OCPs don't have this extra pocket here. They got the one down here, but they don't have this one. So it comes with an extra pocket and better belt loops and a better material, and probably the craftsmanship overall is better. These, like, even straight out of the package, the Army uniforms, the stitching on them is already frayed and coming off, and they pop seams super easily. They use a stronger thread on these, and they're definitely made better. And the ends are all lock stitched on the seams, so you don't have to worry about seams popping as much. So overall, this is definitely a better pant as far as durability of the material and the construction. The belt loops are better. The only thing I really hate about these against the OCP pants is that the goddamn Velcro closures on the buttons, or on the pockets. I don't know why they did that, but I do not like that. I don't like it at all. I wish it was just traditional buttoned. So that's my only real complaint about these pants. And I already listed my complaints about the AC pants. So besides the Army Field Custom pants, in the AC pant and shirt, I haven't owned anything Crye Precision clothing. So I haven't worn any of it in combat either. So my next set of pants, right now I want a good set of, I'm in the market for another set of pants. And right now it's a toss-up between the Crye G3 all-weather combat pant and the Beyond Clothing tactical pant. So they both have the same options. They're both about the same price. They're both like $200, $220. Unfortunately, I can't get the stuff for free anymore, so I have to, anything I buy is going to be traded, or I'm going to have to buy on the open market. So the next piece of clothing I get will probably be one of those two items, and I haven't decided which one I'm going to go with, but I'm definitely going to be doing some research, because if the G3s are anything like the AC combat pants, I will not get them. I did not like those pants at all. So they were comfortable as hell. I just don't feel like they handled the abuse very well. And I could have very well had a lemon pant, but I know there were some other guys in my unit whose pants were failing them in the same areas. So this is my little vignette on Crye Precision clothing. Overall, top quality clothing. They just have some few misses on some products. Mainly, I have a bad taste from the AC pants. Love the AC shirt, but I don't like the AC pants. The Army Field custom pant that they make for the Army, I think is an overall improvement over the Army issued OCP pants, minus the pockets closures. I don't like Velcro over the button. That's my only complaint on those. You could pick these up for under $100. I know I was trying to look for some Crye G3 pants on eBay to see if there was any good deal, and these came up on eBay, the same exact pant actually, and they were like, I don't know, like 68 to 80 bucks. There was a couple online vendors that were selling them for 60 to 80 bucks. So, you know, I don't know if they were fakes or whatnot, but they looked pretty legit to me. They showed the tags and they showed up close to the stitching and the pant. You know, you can generally spot a fake if you know what you're looking for. So, you know, these were issued, so this was issued too, so I don't know how much that costs. And then as far as plate carriers, Crye makes really high-end plate and armor carriers, but I don't own any. When I bought my last armor carrier, it was a flip up between the one I bought and the JPC, the jumpable plate carrier. I ended up going with the one I have, but I've heard a lot of good things about the jumpable plate carrier, and I have a couple friends that have them, and they really like it. It's a no-nonsense, slimline plate carrier. It can do everything you need and nothing you don't, and it's super light. And it's called a jumpable plate carrier, obviously, because it was meant to be jumped. It was specifically designed for units that do, you know, halo operations. They do high altitude jump operations, and they needed something that was a little bit more low profile, but yet could still carry all the equipment they needed it to carry. So that's why that one was developed. And they just the CPC, their chassis plate carrier. You know, once again, you're talking $700-800. I heard that thing is awesome as well. I just could never spend $700 or $800 on a plate carrier, especially when there's several good alternatives on the market that work just fine and are built very well as well. So I can't justify spending $800. And then you have their new one that I guess SOCOM or USASOC just awarded them a big contract, I guess, to start filling out the groups with, is that AVS. It's their scalable system that can be turned into a carrier, that can be turned into a, you know, just a straight up low profile plate carrier, and then everything in between. And I think with like all the components to go with that thing, you're looking like at $1,000 for that. But that seems to be a pretty good system too. I haven't gotten to see one. I haven't finger fucked one. Don't have any friends that have even had one yet. But as soon as I know anything about that, or if I can get my hands on one, I'll be more than willing to post a review on that. But you know, Crye, generally high quality stuff. You know, I don't have experience with their G3 line, so I can't give any insight there. When I do buy their pants though, I'll wear them around a little bit and see how they wear. So these are just my thoughts on Crye Precision, and if anybody else at work has worn Crye Precision made stuff in theater and has had similar or dissimilar experiences to mine, please leave them below, because I'm always looking for insight, especially if you were issued the G3 combat line, because I'm in the market for that, and I'd really like to know how they hold up to abuse. So, because I already know how the AC stuff holds up, and I already know how the regular field cut pant holds up. So I'm really interested to see how their AC pant holds up. So, like I said before, I'm still taking requests on the different gear companies and manufacturers out there. So feel free to leave your request below, or PM me, whatever. But as a side note, a lot of people were saying, do you know, Aries gear, or do, you know, some of these like really small niche companies. I might do like a straight up product review of that in the future, but as a company, I can't really do a product review of a company that really makes nothing but belts. You know, I mean, they make belts and they make very good belts, but I just can't do a review of a company that only builds 1 or 2 products. I'm trying to do a company that builds a wide range of products, like Crye. You know, they make armor carriers, they make clothing, they make helmets. So they make a lot of stuff. Same with Eagle Industries, you know, same with LBT, same with, you know, Tier Tactical, and, or I like to call them TYR. So I'm not sure which one's correct. I've heard it both ways. So yeah, this is my little video on my Crye Precision stuff that I own and my experiences with them. Overall good stuff. I give their clothing rating a B/A, depending on the specific item. So, and my experience just goes to show you can't have complete product faith with any product. Any of these products, they all are good and they're all bad in some ways, and never have blind product faith. in any brand, because you're setting yourself up for failure. You know, I like Crye, but you know what? Their Crye AC pants did not work for me, and I would never wear them again. You know, and there's a lot of fanboys that say, oh, Crye, Crye, everything Crye, and they collect it, and they spend thousands of dollars on it. Well, you know, I want to buy stuff that works, and the Crye AC pant does not work for me. You know, some of their other stuff works great for me, but not that particular product. So, you know, just beware. You know, some companies can do things really well, and then, you know, 10 years down the road, they're a different company, and they're stepping on their own dicks. So, just buyer beware, and leave comments below.